Bonjour à tous and welcome to this video all about Lingq. So I mentioned Lingq in a previous video of mine, and since then the people at Lingq have got in touch and they said, hey, do you want to try Lingq for a while? And I said, yeah, cool, why not? And so here we are. This is a really exciting opportunity for me. I've known about Lingq for quite a while now. I tried it a few years ago with a free account and I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't able to explore it in its entirety. So the lovely people at Lingq have given me full access and I've had a play around, and I have to say I've been really impressed. They haven't paid me to say that. It genuinely is really good. It's a very powerful tool and even more powerful than I thought it was. You know, I had a good idea of what you could do with it, but only with this opportunity was I able to see all of the incredible things that you can do with it. I can't show you them all in this video, there are just too many, so I'm just going to go through some of the basic functions, have a little play around, and maybe inspire you to have a look yourself. If you do feel inspired, there is a link in the description which you can follow to sign up. If you do that, I do get a little bit of commission, which would be really nice. I would really appreciate that. But as I said, I've not been paid to make this video, so all opinions are my own. So let's get started. So the first thing that impressed me with Lingq wasn't just the number of languages available, but the range of languages that they have. They don't just have the classic European languages, French, Spanish, German and Italian. You know, they also have Russian, Korean, Polish, Latin, which when you consider the fact that for each of these languages there is a full course which in theory could take you from beginner to advanced, I think that's really impressive. It's very rare to find full materials like that. They also have these beta languages which aren't quite as complete, but I bet you could get a fair way with these languages with the stuff that they've already got. Of course, in this video we're going to focus on the French because that's what I'm all about. So what I've done is completely reset everything. I've had a bit of a play around before, but I've deleted all my progress so that we can look at this as if it's the first time we're visiting the website. And the first thing that I did was just go to the lesson library to have a browse. And the nice thing is you can go to these filters and pick exactly the kind of thing you're looking for. So let's say we want some beginner materials. Maybe you'll want some exercises to do. You can choose that as an accompaniment if you want. Or if you specifically want a video, you can have that. Also, a lot of the materials on Lingq are third party, and if you know which third party you want to get those materials from, you can choose that. So for example, let's say you specifically want something from TV5 Monde, you can choose that option and it will only show you things from that. I'm just going to do a general search for now, but I like the fact that that's an option. The other thing that I like is that for the beginning stages, Lingq has its own course. So rather than throwing you in at the deep end and making you watch authentic materials, you can do some easier stuff first. Now don't get me wrong, I think authentic materials are the best thing to listen to, and I recommend that people listen to them from as early on as possible. But right at the start, you probably don't want to be doing that. So this is quite nice, it's an easy introduction. So we're just going to have a look at one lesson just to see how the whole system works. This is the screen that you are confronted with. You have text, lots of blue highlighting, and hopefully some audio. So let's just have a quick listen to this one.
Bonjour, que puis-je faire pour vous?
Mon nom est Béatrice.
Comment allez-vous? Enchantée de vous connaître.
So clearly this is made for beginners, right? The language is very simple, it's typical greetings, and you can tell they've recorded it specifically for this purpose. But what I do like about it is that they haven't dumbed it down too much. You know, they don't speak really slowly just so that you understand. They speak at a fairly natural pace. Is it 100% native speed? Probably not quite, but I think it's a good speed to start with. For example, he says, que puis-je faire pour vous? It's very fluid. He doesn't say, que puis-je faire pour vous? Which no one speaks like that, right? So I think this is a good speed to start with. So the idea here is that everything in blue is what Lingq thinks you don't know. So say for example you already know the word bonjour, you can click on it, and tell
Bonjour.
Lingq, I know this word. And then it's not highlighted anymore, and so Lingq knows not to test you on that again. Because let's face it, you probably know the word bonjour pretty well. And so you do that for all of the words you go through and decide whether you know them or not. Once you come across a word that you don't know, let's say for example we don't know what enchanté means, you click on it.
Enchanté.
You choose the translation which best fits, in this case, nice to meet you.
Enchanté.
And it creates a link. And so this, of course, is the core concept. You can write some notes about it if you want. At this point, you also need to decide how well do you know this word. Will you need to review it tomorrow, or do you think you can wait a month? Let's say this is a brand new word. I want to review it tomorrow. That is one link made, and now we carry on. So you go through the whole text. Let's just... Ooh, I know 5 French words. I think if you just skip straight away without going through all the words, it just assumes you know them all. But let's just create some links to demonstrate the review process.
Rencontrer. Rencontrer.
Complete lesson. So once you've completed it, that is the lesson done. You can do something else, have some food, maybe do another lesson. And then later on, probably the next day or a few days later, you need to review your links. So go through all of the words that you learnt so that you can memorize them. Now, I think for this, it's going to say session complete because, of course, it's not expecting me to review them yet. But let's review some more just to demonstrate. Okay, so the thing that I like about the review process is that it isn't always the same task. So take flashcards, for example. If you have Anki, you do the same task every time. You know, you have a word on one side, you try to remember what the word is, you flip it over, and you tell it if you got it right or not. The tasks in this are a little bit more varied. So for example, in this case, it's just giving us the word and I need to translate it. So enchanté means nice to meet you. Did I get it right? Yes.
Suis.
This time, though, I've got something to listen to. So, what do we hear?
Suis.
Suis, as in je suis. Submit. Ooh, come on. There we go. I got it right. And again, I can tell it how well I knew it. So, I knew this one pretty well, so I'm going to say I know it. This time, we have to fill in a dialogue. Je suis également enchanté de vous connaître. Yeah, I think that's about right.
Également.
Submit.
Également.
There we go. Again, rate it. Let's say, oh, well, I know it, but I'm going to need
Rencontrer.
a review in a couple of days. Rencontrer, with an example sentence, that's even nicer. Learning words in context is always a good idea. Is to meet. I got it right. Enchanté. Flipping thing doesn't always work. There we go.
Rencontrer.
Rencontrer. Submit. There we go. Knew that one pretty quickly. Let's say I know it. There we go. And I've reviewed my links. Of course, if you do more, you will have more links to do. That's a very quick session, but that is the basic concept. So there are many, many things you can do with Lingq, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm not going to go through everything, but here's just a quick overview. The Exchange is a nice place for you to do some of your own work and get feedback from it. So here you go, you can request writing correction, pronunciation correction, many, many things. You see some people have submitted things here. The other cool thing about the Exchange is you can have one-on-one conversations with native speakers. So people show their availability, you schedule a conversation with them, and you have a nice little chat, which is really cool. And then there's the forum where you can post questions and start little groups, and have a nice little community feel. And this makes Lingq a very complete resource, right? A lot of the time, you have to do your reading here and you're listening there and you're speaking here. Lingq is very much a full experience, which I think sets it apart from a lot of other things that are available. I do think you have to apply the method as stringently as possible. I think it would be very easy, for example, to start reading something like Le Corbeau et le Renard here, And rather than making links, as evidently I've done here, just sort of clicking and looking at the translation. Près means near, and ce means this, and langage means language. Rather than doing that, really create the links, you know, so and choose when you want to review them, and review your links. Because otherwise it just becomes a reading exercise. The other thing I would say is also make sure that you do all of the skills. So don't just read it, listen to it as well. What's quite nice is it gives you a little review on the home page, if we go there, of how much of each discipline you've been doing. So this is telling me I've done, well, not much reading, but more reading than anything else. So maybe I need to do some writing, maybe I need to do some speaking to balance everything out. So I think if you follow the rules, as it were, then it really, really works. Don't be lazy with it, because otherwise you won't see the results that you want to see. So that's pretty much it for my quick review of Lingq. As I said, there are many other things you can do, importing your own materials and, you know, actually using the exchange and things. But I think that gives you a good overview of the type of thing that you can do. As I said before, if you're interested in signing up, if you use the link in the description, that also gives me a little bit of a boost, which is really nice. I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching this video. I swear I will teach you some more French soon, but until next time, à bientôt.